The distance starts. When we first got together, I never imagined a situation where we would be so distant from one another. At the beginning, it was like a fairy tale. We were in sync with each other, enjoying the smallest moments. But over time, things began to change, and it wasn't for the better. It started out small. She began coming home late from work, saying that she had more responsibilities or late meetings. I understood, but slowly I began to notice she was less interested in spending quality time with me. Conversations became short and cold, and she started to retreat into her own world. I felt like I was being pushed out of our life together, and I couldn't help but wonder why. The sudden suspicion of me. As her behavior became more distant, something even more alarming happened. She started to suspect that I was the one being unfaithful. The accusations didn't come out of nowhere. She would question where I was, why I was late, who I was talking to. It was like she suddenly became hyper aware of my actions while I was just trying to figure out why she was changing. I would assure her, I'm not cheating on you, but it didn't seem to matter. The more I tried to explain myself, the more I felt like I was trapped in a cycle of suspicion and insecurity that I couldn't break free from. It didn't make sense. If I was being truthful and open, why was she acting like this, her secretive behavior? Another thing that started happening was her secrecy. When she would get a message or a call, she would immediately get defensive and hide her phone. She would say, it's nothing or just work stuff, but it felt like she was hiding something. I've never been one to invade her privacy, but the constant feeling of being shut out made me question everything. It's not like I had a reason to suspect her initially. I wasn't going through her phone, checking her messages or anything like that, but the way she started acting made me wonder. When I asked her about it, she would shrug it off or get irritated, saying that I was being paranoid. But the more I asked, the colder she became. The guilt trip. The worst part about this whole situation was how she started making me feel guilty. Every time I'd express my concerns or ask why she was acting so distant, she would turn it around on me. Maybe you're the one who's hiding something, she'd say. It was like she was trying to make me feel guilty for feeling the way I did. How could I be the one accused of being unfaithful when I was the one being open, honest, and transparent? This created an emotional battle within me. I didn't want to accuse her of anything, but her actions were leading me to doubt everything. And yet, I felt like I was being forced into a corner, like I had no way out but to keep defending myself. The paranoia and the cycle of doubt. It wasn't just her acting secretive, it was the way she began to constantly ask me where I had been, who I had been talking to, and whether I had been seeing someone else. It was as if she had completely flipped the narrative. I went from being the one who was feeling rejected and confused to being accused of infidelity. The more I tried to convince her of my loyalty, the more she started to doubt me. It created this toxic environment where every conversation felt like a trap. I was tired of defending myself. I just wanted to know what was going on, trying to hold on to what we had. In the midst of all this, I tried to keep the connection alive. I wanted to make her feel loved, to remind her of the bond we once had. I'd surprise her with flowers, plan little dates, and try to have deep conversations. But no matter how much I tried, it felt like it wasn't enough. She was distant and cold, and I began to feel like I was the only one trying to keep us together. At some point, I realized I wasn't the one who had pulled away. I was still here, still trying, but she was gone. Physically present, but emotionally unavailable. The hard truth. I don't know if she's cheating, but the trust between us is gone. It's hard to believe anything she says anymore. She's created this wall between us that I can't seem to break down. I keep wondering if the distance is because she's been seeing someone else or if something else is going on that she doesn't want to admit. At this point, I'm just trying to hold on to my own sanity. I've been accused, gaslighted, and emotionally drained. It's hard to keep trying when you feel like you're the only one invested in the relationship. I don't know what the future holds for us, but I know I can't continue like this forever.